public speaking, I'd like to first of all make a few apologies for a few people who would have loved to have been here but haven't been able to make it. First of all, Ross in particular, Mr. Reg Lang sends his apologies this evening. He still can't believe that Ross has been able to find full-time employment, and he's in a state of shock, mainly because Ross was one of the first ones to start full-time employment after the HSC. Another apology is from Miss Christine McDonald, Mrs. David Miller, who is still suffering from a nervous condition from a particular person who gave her absolute hell in the library. If ever you can imagine a young boy, I won't mention names, Ross, holding his stomach as if he is carrying books past the ladies in the office, hoping and praying that they will try to accost him. And often, well, at first they did, but after a while they gave up. So they never had any idea whether he had books under that jumper or not. It's quite serious that Miss McDonald did have to take some leave after those incidents. Thirdly, Mr. Richard Wombat Purvis would like to be forgiven for not being here. He still hasn't recovered from the news that Ross was moving from Farrer House down into Macquarie for his final year. He was devastated by that news and is again having a hard time recovering. I personally have many memories, happy memories of Ross Pitman from my school days at Hurlston, mostly when I was caning the daylights out of him. Ross had a bad habit of owning up to every misdemeanour that occurred within the school. The only problem was half the time he hadn't committed them, but he would often show up, own up to it, take the punishment, go away and save quite a bit of embarrassment for other kids. Ross was also a favourite of the smallest students, you'll be happy to know. They held him in great esteem because often I would see them walk 100 yards out of their way just to avoid him, just to give him free passageway. They never gave me that privilege. I don't know what it was about him, but wherever Ross was, they weren't. In my new school, I have found many Ross Pitman clones. Many clones, but none of them will ever approach the real thing. Ross managed to be a little devil and yet still always came up smiling. Kids today just can't take it. Ross showed up for soccer one day. One little story I have, we had a first grade soccer team playing, we were short of players, so down he came. He'd never played before as far as I could gather. Within 10 minutes he flapped 2 players, scored a goal, and we hadn't even told him about the offside rule yet.